I'm not going to show you all the pictorial form, but 5 plus negative 4 is just, I will show you the workings. Okay, you should get this correct. 5 minus 4 equals 1, quite simple. 7 plus negative 3 equals 7 minus 3. 4. 7 plus negative 4 equals to 7 minus 4 equals to 3. Okay, so this is your answers. Does anybody not understand the idea of adding a positive and a negative? Kai Sheng, right? You okay? Can you face forward? Thank you. Alright, so now you see you have a rule there. Okay, rule number 1. Okay, I'm going to write rule number 1 here. Okay, when it comes to adding negative and positive numbers, when we add a negative, it will become minus. Alright? Okay? Now, as I said in the previous lesson, you do not write two operations together without any brackets. Okay? If you want to write plus minus, you need to have a negative, let's say negative 3. These will make sense. Okay? If you write it without a bracket, it will not make sense. Is that clear? Just now we had 5 plus negative 3, right? What happens if it's negative 3 plus 5? Right? But, okay, this is just an idea to show you that it can be simply, okay, negative 3 plus 5. Like that. Correct? Isn't it the same as just now? 5 plus negative 3? Just that now I reverse only. 5 plus negative 3 is actually the same as negative 3 plus 5. Okay, or sometimes you will realize that I don't write the bracket. Negative 3 plus 5 is the same as 5 plus negative 3, which is exactly what we did just now here. Right? Make sense? In terms of the pictorial representation?
Yes.
Okay, so it's very easy. It's simply 5 minus 3. I don't even need you all to do the pictorial representation here. Okay, can you all solve for negative 3 plus 5 and negative 4 plus 5? Okay, 8 plus negative 3 is actually as simple as 8 minus 3. Okay, the answer here is 5. Part B, we have a bigger number, 45 plus negative 17. Essentially, it's 45 minus 17. What does without the use of calculator would mean that you need to show this step. But you still can use your calculator to evaluate the final answer. I say again, when it says without the use of calculator, okay, without the use of calculator would just mean that you need to show this step, that this is just this, and you can still use your calculator to evaluate what is this answer. Does it make sense to you? Okay, don't be fooled by the question. Wow, I totally cannot use calculator. No lah. Okay, you still can use for calculations, but you need to show your workings. Am I clear? Am I clear? Okay, the answer here is 28. You don't know what page? I hit right here already. This is practice 1. Where is practice 1? Negative 2 plus 6 is simply 6 plus negative 2. Alright, I'm just rewriting it, the order of it. Okay, please check your answers. Okay, part C, the answer is just D, 4. Sorry. And finally, this one. Okay, it's too simple already. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Okay, but you need to show your steps should be exactly similar to mine. If it's not, if your presentation is wrong, I will give you 0 as well. Okay? Can? Understand? Okay, let's move on. Very good. Now, just now we add 2 positive integers, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we had 1 plus 2. We have 1 plus we don't have 1 plus. We have 4 plus negative 2, right? Now, what happens if it's negative 4 plus negative 2? Okay, this is something we will look at now. Okay, but how do we do it lah? Okay, so now for this part, can you all turn to page 4? Okay, I'll quickly show you all the pictorial. Okay, you don't have to copy the pictorial representation unless you are not clear about what it means. Okay, I say again, the pictorial representation is not necessary unless you don't understand what I'm talking about. Okay, clear? If you know, then no need. Okay, simple as that. We have -2. Okay, when sometimes I may choose to write the bracket or not to write the bracket. Example, if I write like that, this would still mean this is -2 plus -3. I can also write it like that. Wait, I can also write it like that. The first one does not need a bracket because there is no other operations in front. Do I make sense to you? Since there are no operations, there are no numbers in front of -2, I can write -2 like that. But for -3 here, I have to leave the bracket there. Why? Because there's an operation here, there's a number in front of -3. Yes. Why do I put the -3 in front? Okay, so very good question. Okay, I can also write it as -3 plus, but if I have to put the -2 here means I have to reintroduce the bracket. Make sense? You can reverse the order, right? It's just adding. And I also can write it as -3 plus -2. Does that answer your question? Okay, so very good question though. Okay, so we'll look at how to do this. Very simple. I got -2, which means 2 number these, right? 2 negative ones, add 3. How many I have in total? 5 of them, right? So it will be -5. Simple. Okay, you don't even have to draw the pictorial representation if you understand. Okay, so simply. Yeah, very good. Now when it comes to workings, okay, let me erase this part. Okay, this is very simple. Okay, so you have -2 plus -3, right? Now, do you realize that just now we have 5 number Ds, right? We have 5 of them, right? Correct, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correct? We got 5 of them here. Now, this is as simple as just adding the numbers, right? If I don't care about the negative sign of each number, I can just add the numbers together. So what I can do is this is just simply equals to negative bracket. Put a bracket first. Okay? Add the 2 numbers together. Right? Make sense? Does it make sense? So when you add the numbers together already, it will be 5, right? Correct? So it will just be -5. Okay, once it's a single number, you can remove the brackets. Okay, I say again, what's happening here? I'm adding what we call this an absolute value. Okay, but I'm just adding the value of the numbers when it's 2 negative numbers. Okay, the negative sign I bring out, I put a bracket, 2 plus 3, adding the numbers only. Okay, once you reach this step, I remove the bracket because the bracket is not necessary anymore. Is that clear? Yashwini, you look lost. You're lost? Do you understand what is -2 plus -3 in the picture form? -5, right? But how to get -5? How do I get the number 5? I can just simply add 2 and 3 together. Make sense or not? Yeah,